So number 2, you got
sales trends 6.3.
No, reading's hard.
That's all right.
This is going by
That's for sales.
Market rate, yeah. So can you give me 0.063 times 150?
Well, major deals are gonna have.
so we're saying lowest vacancy Central Valley 2.5%.
Okay, so 945.
You guys, Jeff, you guys have
Great, where's the first one? You only want the
you want to make sure that
Plus 7.
oh, he's also, so you're going to get it from them. Okay, that's fine. You guys, some people are like, everybody's going to say something, it's okay.
Per square foot.
At 3%.
Are you guys coming together?
Oh yeah. So then subtract 12 and a half.
Okay, well, like, so imagine you
Do you have a similar how I got that? That's ugly. So we have our PSF equals
yeah, so like what asset class?
5. We have our cap rate at 6.5. And so if this is what we're charging rent minus OpEx, which is 1.7 over
What about the area?
value, which is what we're selling for. So per square foot sale. So our value equals 0.065. So we can back into this by going like this, and then minus 5 negative OpEx equals, what is it, 9.45.
The assignment property
Minus
operating
12.5. So then you can cancel that out.
Then, I'm sorry, supplemental that you did in the project. Oh, you didn't do the project, but if you had done it and I sent it to you.
I mean, I think it all makes sense. It all flows.
You might see like a large operating expense.
Maybe ask for help.
Yeah.
Number 3 is West
A vacancy? Do we put a vacancy in there?
Okay, then you should know that.
We know, but I'm saying. Well, oh yeah, vacancy could be in capital.
Per square feet, and then you multiply out the square feet, get rid of how much is vacancy.
Because this is buying all. Right. So this is buying all. So let's
That was not included.
Well, not to just read,
is that going to make it higher or lower? It'll make it lower.
It should make it lower.
It should make it lower. Yeah, it should make it lower.
probably will ask questions.
Guys, I have $3. We call it 305.
305.
305. What a good number.
How's the mega group here?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Everything's coming along, you're pulling it together.
Home market, top tier is 100%. Square foot, fine.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example because what I don't want is analysis paralysis, right? So if I don't know Broward so much. I think there's probably a fair bit more flex here than I would imagine. But if just traditional distribution space is 95% of the market, I don't really need to know all these different subclass vacancies because then it's just like, you know what? There's some flex and there's some manufacturing space here, but the bulk of it is distribution and vacancies about 4.5%. That would be helpful for me rather than trying to memorize all these things, right? How much logistics space is part of this? Almost all of it, right? So I might say, hey, the bulk of the space is logistics and flex, right? And vacancies about 4.2%. That tells me what I need to know. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
As opposed to just regurgitating about, because I can't.
Well, we're not done yet. We're gonna.
I know that you're going to synthesize it now. I'm just encouraging you. I'm encouraging you to synthesize it.
Okay. we have any information on the markets, how big they are? I don't have my glasses on.
I really shouldn't.
Are you finding
We don't you want to put the sales in the past 12 months, the lowest per square foot and the highest per square foot?
Find the median number?
Yeah, well, so you guys can, I have to like list all this up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna let's find some sales info. Maybe.
Yeah, you have the average,
I think we'll have a
you have the jump from 2013 to 2000.
median sales.
Try to get big numbers, right?
Yeah, that pretty much shows the average. I think we got a lot of good stuff. Do you want to just start going down? You have the job?
Yeah, I got some jobs. You guys got jobs? Okay. So this is the way we identify our market. Okay? This is called really thought it was complicated. It's not. Because this is representative of our amount of manufacturing jobs compared to the national average. So if 1 in 10 jobs here are in manufacturing, we'll go 1 out of 10. And around the world, or around the country, 2 out of 10 jobs. It's going to be a ratio of us compared to, so here, compared to the national average, we're 6% less likely to have these types of manufacturing jobs. And so to interpret that, what does a high LQ, low amount of jobs, that's a specialty industry that's in an area. And so I think when we start looking at these, we look at what makes Florida or Fort Lauderdale market demand these rents. And so, because we already know they're high, what about this and the land use and the people that are down here makes us better for the state? I think the population, I think a lot of these things are more likely to have like neighborhood type jobs. It's nothing really pops out at me as being overly concentrated in that. Some sort of combination of this drives that. I mean, any thoughts on it? You understand what the LQ represents? Yes. That's why I was national excellence.
Hold on a second for me.
So it looks like the job growth Fort Lauderdale we're above. Looks like it's projected to go down with the national scale. Well, it's starting to go down. It's starting to trend.
I feel like the forecast is, yeah, a little bit.
Well, so, okay, that side in 2018 it's starting to trend down with the U.S.
Right now, we still have a little bit of a still growing jobs. This thing's still jobs are being created.
But less than they were then.
Less than they were.
Oh, you know what it is?
So maybe we'll kind of justify me if I'm talking about the continued population growth down here. I think this maybe is that late population growth. Because to link it back, people logistics. A lot of these things are like not last mile, but like cold storage. People that are doing these facilities are like obviously but they're like pharmaceutical and cold food and frozen food. These are these logistics places. And so the increase of population down here and the increase of consumer habits and around using these channels to get their stuff through these channels, I think we'll see continued growth in maybe amount constructed
Brickell
and then
and
eventually we absorb the apartment. I really don't see these rents compressing as much as the broader markets because of these buildings being so essential to the next. You kind of understand where I'm at with that? Like, it's just,
well, I mean,
oh, it's everything that we don't see that we impact.
Well, just so that my idea, and this is just
but,
an idea. Instead of
That's why I didn't
people going up there and just going on maybe each one of us picks a section that we do and memorize. Because I don't think he wants us going up here with our notes. Okay. But maybe each one of us has a section, and you say something on the market as a whole. You take under construction, you take vacancy, you take sales, and then we pretty much each person gets a chance to talk, and then we touch on it. Maybe or we can pick one person that goes up there and says a
your submarket test. How can you not?
but then going back to your operation, I mean, after this is our last section, and then
I don't want to do your work for you.
what do you want? What do you want? Yeah, so job growth.
Yeah, and that's so like when I talk to
Higher than the national average, right there.
Yeah, job growth continues to
To be above the national average, and that's why our president
difference. 25, whatever.
it says it right here, bro.
That's huge. I mean, that's big. 100%, that's 30% bigger year over year job. What's that? 30% greater than the national average. I feel like if this is a 1.5 and this is a 2, whatever. So 1%.
And it's telling you, you can see the difference, you know, the effective rent or the asking rent. It's like half or it's crap.
There's 175. Right here.
When you take a look at that, where's your submarket data? Like, notice what I said before.
Yeah, the growth. 1.75% growth.
Okay, you're
1.6.
We were 220.
And most of the products highly is like, you know, class.
Yeah, so our job growth continues to be higher than national average. That contributes to our price per square foot being higher.
And then we have population statistics. Let's bring those up. Whoever they are. You have some population numbers?
Take a look at the submarket. I mean, so for example,
Unemployment is slow in states. We have
downtown Miami.
less than the national average median household income. It's gonna take a long time to catch up. We grow and they grow, it's like we have to. That was a concerning one. I don't know how
So you
to.
say, look, 20% of my market is, let's see if Kent is Brickell separate, no. But Aventura, you could probably include in that same sort of area.
Labor
right?
force,
And you're gonna say, look,
current
25% of my market's gonna be
Our unemployment's
mid-rise,
lower than the
urban
national
core,
average. It's a
and the
big-
pricing on that, you see they're all gonna be similar, they're all gonna be,
That's like 1,000.
you know, $1.80.
population growth.
230, you know. Look, downtown Miami, Gables are identical, you know, Coconut Grove, they're all in that same range. And then you could pull like, you know, you could go homes that South Bay, Miami Lakes, or Miami Lakes is a little bit
Did he
different.
break down the number?
You know, Miami Lakes would be a little bit like a route.
Broke it down.
Just like standing in the line.
The number of
Apartments there.
the number of jobs right here,
Then
right?
you have all this urban, like,
Population.
yeah.
So it would be
There's kind of we do like
the
three
number
different
of
sort of.
jobs would be whatever 97% of
And we're gonna
that.
have a home that is only properties and maybe three different sorts of pricing.
97% of 1.9 million, that would be the population.
Oh, there we go.
So what's the 97% of that?
Sometimes that's all you have. I mean, I can be a industrial one, I got a little bit of experience, but I can do
How many jobs are in the economy?
20 minutes, you know, I grabbed the report.
Right.
Like you said, it might not be, I wrote my notes.
How did your presentation go?
No manufacturing.
I heard you.
No, I understand, I know, but that's why you're. Hey, we're gonna start in like 3 minutes.
Alright, so let's worry about this for a second, unless you want to add it. Let's pick and choose what we're going to
Live.
add.
Hey, hey,
Let's not say
we're starting in 1 minute. So wrap it up. We're starting in 1
I think we
minute.
should do one person picks each section. I think that would be.
Wrap it
But
up.
he did mention just to summarize it, not, yeah, I would like not mention every single one.
So John likes to write it,
It's
and then
only 6 people. We got like 50 sections. Like 6 sections. Unless somebody
What does the third column say?
Oh, no, Dan.
Now, if you can't get off operations,
Otherwise, how we
you would talk to your effective
yeah, I'd say less equal than
Give me that dog.
you don't have time to learn.
you want to just say what you think.
No, well, unless you know. Yeah, if you say, look, we didn't get a chance to take a look at it, but we know that, yeah, multifamily, the operating expenses are about 30%. I think that's fair. We don't know whether they got involved in that. Look, but we know that's a
What did he say?
6 person?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. There you go, you got it.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I wish that the classes were as effervescent as what I taught. But anyway, why don't we start?
Take a look at it.
I think it'd be, look, we could probably spend another 2 hours here. This is really just an exercise to try to get you comfortable with trying to look for information that's going to help you in analyzing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lock that. There are still pastelitos around. I think the croquetas are being digested as we speak. So I'm going to invite the groups to come up one at a time. It doesn't matter to me if one person speaks or if you all speak. I would hope you don't contradict each other or start hitting each other because you disagree, but if one person wants to speak, great. If everybody wants to speak, that's great. And I'm going to be at the side, jotting stuff down as you say it, so we kind of like get a grid. And then I, in the balance of the class, can ask questions on the things that aren't clear. So since we're not in an autocratic state, although I do reserve my right to be a dictator. Is there anyone who would like to go first? Nathan's group would like to go first. And so I invite Nathan, Alana, Kyle, Aaron, and Andrew to come up and talk to us a little bit about the West Palm Beach office market. Go sit over y'all. Okay, but guys, turn around. Let's focus so we can learn. Okay, so attention, Oz, Alec, Anthony. Attention. So Nathan, if you'd like to start, or however your group is.
We looked at the West Palm Beach office market based off the information we were
Talk to the
given.
class, don't talk to the
Based
board.
off the information we were given in this CoStar report. And we went through it best we could in the short amount of time that we had. And we think we correctly found the information that's in this. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So just like the professor started with going over the industrial market, we're going to go over the Palm Beach office market. So 18% of...
Because I'm just here to take notes.
Okay, so 18% of the job markets are professional business services. Another 18% goes to the trade, transportation, utilities, and 16% to education, health services, and 14% to leisure and hospitality. And now we're going to go into the actual gross rent.
Yeah, so first it looks like gross rent. The gross rent average is $32 a square foot. they mentioned in there the highest was $50 a square foot as a kind of a outlier, I guess outlier. The operating expenses is we found to be $14.70 a square foot. It's like net rent. The net rent. Okay.
Is that what the next one says?
Yes.
Well, so you may not see it. I mean, I don't want
I
to.
don't think we can bring across the net.
Okay, so it didn't come across. Keep going with your presentation, and we'll come back to it.
Sir, vacancy. So it did, you know, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie as the names of the different classes, A, B, C, were not what we found. We found 4 and 5 star, 3 star, 1 and 2 star. We kind of deducted it. That's what each one of those were. So A was 11.4% in vacancy. B was 9.2, and C, Charlie was 7.7.
So if I want to just have one number though, like what's the composition of the asset class? So like if I want one number, what is it?
9.3%.
So about 9%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so size of the market, because you take those numbers I gave you there and you take the size of the market, and that's how you come up with the 9%. 56. You want a whole number like that too.
I don't want anything. I want the class to know how big the market is.
Okay. Well,
56 million?
56 million is the, yes, which consists of about 1/3 of it being Class A, 2/3 being Class B, and 1/3 of it being.
That's like 4/5.
I'm sorry, should we say fourths? 1/4 Class A, 2/4 or 1/2 Class B.
Well, no, it's more like half is Class B, and then a quarter is Class A, and then a quarter is Class C.
Yeah, try to say.
Basically.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, the net, 12-month net.
Guys, listen.
Is 371,000 square feet.
Trailing 12 months. 371.
That's right.
Okay.
And then the deliveries was the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, and they sold, well, they had 31,830 square feet, and they sold it for 14.75 million, which is about, what was it, I can't see if that's a dollar sign or a 4.
That's what we think.
460.
Okay, pero I want, like, guys, listen, how many square feet came into the market?
33,008. Oh, no, sorry. 387,000. Yeah, this.
Okay, keep going. Okay.
What's the
submarkets.
what's that next one?
What are the major submarkets here?
So that would be the suburban, which is mostly, right? That's what we're looking for.
Well, I mean, those were my words there. I didn't look at the report. I just made that up.
Listening.
But I made that up.
But it's true, I mean, it is. It's the West Palm Beach metropolitan area for their.
Okay, what are the major submarkets?
Delray Beach, Boca Raton, West Boca, because they have a.
Okay, but I don't have room for all those. What are the three major, like, submarkets there?
West Boca Raton, West Palm Beach, and Delray Beach.
Okay, so I think what she just said to me was that when you look at office in West Palm Beach, we really have a central business district or core in West Palm, and we've got a bunch of suburban office product in South Palm Beach County and North Palm Beach County. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And do we know how big the CBD is versus suburban?
I would say it's not as big as the suburban market, because that's where all the headquarter locations
Is it bigger than a bread box?
are.
We got 56 million square feet. How big is the office market in West Palm Beach,
Yes.
CBD? Should be in the report. Should be in the report, Andrew.
I
Kyle, you've been awfully quiet lately.
I have coffee on me.
Might it be, I don't know, maybe 15 million square feet? I don't know, something like that. Okay, let's leave that open then. What, are there any major lease transactions in the year?
Yes, there was. The Park at Broken Sound, and the numbers are right.
Don't give your audience the back.
Yes, I do. There was the Park at Broken Sound. It sold for $68.4 million.
I'm talking about leasing transactions.
That was a sale. It wasn't a leasing transaction. We didn't have the lease. It was a sale.
We didn't get large leasing transactions. Okay, do we have any sales comps? Do we know what product trades for?
So we sold in 2018 a 171,000 square foot building for $42 million. It was $245 square foot.
Do we know what the cap rate was?
7.2.
So, and we only have one transaction?
Yes, we have another one, Courthouse Highlands office.
Do I have an average?
Sold for $22 million, so the average was 22.42.
The absolute dollar value doesn't mean anything to me. I want dollars per square foot.
$266.
How much?
$266.
So we have got a 245 and a 266. And do we know the cap rate on that? We do not. Oh, it's right there. No, yes, maybe. I don't know.
It's an old building.
It's an old building.
Provided.
Hold on, Alec, you have a question for the group.
How come there isn't a column for word coming online?
There could be, and you could add that, definitely under construction would definitely be helpful.
There's 11 buildings under construction right now.
How many square feet?
It's on that sheet.
What percentage of the market is it?
Oh, here, a million, so 1.03 million square feet.
1 point under construction, 1.3 under construction.
1.03.
Okay. Are rents going up or down?
Yeah.
Are they gonna go up with 1 million square feet in deliveries? Three times annual absorption?
Yes, because everybody's moving down from New York City and relocating their headquarters to here. So there's high demand.
I need to hover a little bit.
Okay, all right. Any questions for the group? Okay. Thank you. Go back. I just have a couple of questions here. Or observations. I'm not sure. So, what's the difference between CBD rents and suburban rents? Do we know?
CBD will be higher.
No, I know that, but I'm asking them what the number is.
Everyone in the same.
You have a keen ability to point the obvious.
Tell me something I don't already know. I mean,
The keen ability to.
So we're not going to go back to 22.
okay, guys, okay, listen, we don't have, because everybody else has to present, so we're not gonna have the time to do all this stuff, but, so what I said is in fact accurate. I haven't read this report, but I know that the office market in Palm Beach is a tale of two cities, Armando. It's a tale of two cities, okay? It's a certain, as a lot of office markets, you've got a CBD component which is gonna have a higher gross rent or full service rent and a higher operating expense component. And it's gonna trade at a lower cap rate, and it's going to trade at a higher cost per square foot. And you've got suburban product, which is going to have higher vacancy, lower full service rents, lower operating expenses, and trade at a lower cost per square foot than and at a higher cap rate than the urban core. There's a central core there in West Palm Beach. There's a submarket up in PGA Boulevard, and in all of South Palm Beach County, Boca, Delray. You can call them different submarkets, it's the same thing, okay? It's Southern Palm Beach County. I would be kind of interested to know what the breakup or the distinction would be between the submarkets, because there's been very high historical vacancy in some of the Southern Palm Beach markets. I don't think
I don't think net rent should be $18 a square foot with these metrics you've given me here. Because if I take $18 per square foot at a 7 cap, I don't know, does that get me to $245? Does somebody have a calculator handy?
It was like 52.
Does anybody have a calculator handy? Nobody has a calculator. I'll grab one. So, $18 net divided by 257. So the answer is, maybe that's right. Maybe it triangulates right. Okay, so it is in fact possible that net rents broadly across the market are $18. Okay, and it countervalidates these metrics that we're selling product at 7 cap, about $250 a square foot. Well, what this is talking to me is it's telling me almost all of it, which you could give me the break, almost all of that is suburban product. In the CBD in West Palm, probably no more than 3 or 4 million square feet max. But you should have that. I need you to tell me that. Tell me while the next group, who wants to come up next while they're coming up?
So are you looking for the size between the distinction between the CBD and the suburban?
Right, because that's going to have a totally different pricing.
For the square footage?
Well,
they didn't give us a breakdown. Well, they had a...
Of course. Aaron, it's there.
Yes, I have, West Palm Beach CBD, they have 9.5% of the market.
No, give me square footage.
5.3 million.
Okay, so it's 5 million square feet. And everything else is 51 million square feet. So the metrics that we're looking at, which are global across the market, are talking to essentially what is a suburban office market. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So hopefully we've learned some things, and I'm going to point to, there is a lot of expectation that things are going to get better, but big question mark, you got 3 times the supply coming in than what your historical absorption is and what your historical deliveries have been. That's not usually a good sign unless that stuff is pre-leased already. Okay? Now with that, we are now going to move to the next group. So
how do you build? How do you have people bringing in product when they know that the absorption rate?
So we talked about one day whether you build on a speculative basis or whether you build on a build-to-suit basis, or really the hybrid that you're speculative, but you're hopefully getting some commitments, you're marketing product before cutting it loose so that you feel relatively comfortable that at least it's going to cash flow and service debt when it comes online. But that's a good question. So I'm going to ask, Oz's group is coming up, so Oz with Adriana, Alec, and Anthony are going to talk to you about the retail market in Miami. Okay, and so let's change the chip now. Now we're back in the south part of the metro, and we'll talk about a different asset class. Yes.
Okay, the size of our market is 135,583,560 square feet.
We don't need to get 135 million, you said?
Correct, square feet.
That's fine.
Okay. The vacancy rate is 3.9%, which means 96.1% is occupied.
4% vacancy, you said?
Yes, okay.
I thought we had a retail problem. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
The average market rent is $37.93, $38.
Is that full service?
They didn't specify. All we got is that's market rent.
Okay, but what are the
full
operating
service.
expenses?
Well, we had to look that one up. We came up with $13.
Okay, now, did you get a distinction between what is, look at the class or look at me.
Okay.
Did you get a distinction between the different subclasses in retail?
Not really.
Yeah, well, we have the malls, power centers, strip malls, and.
Okay, so what are the sort of, if 38 is a composite rent,
Yeah.
what does a mall pay versus a strip center, or a power, I mean, how big is each asset class? Can we say that most of the square footage is X?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
So on the general retail side, you have about like 67 million square feet.
What is general retail?
General retail would be anything that does not fall under malls, a power center, neighborhood
So
center.
like a strip center.
Okay, so that's other, so tell me the stuff that's other than other.
Okay.
Give me the stuff that's not miscellaneous.
The next up, the next biggest would be a neighborhood center.
Okay, what kind of the percentage of the market is that?
No, that's not, that's.
We don't know. Okay, let's keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Okay.
We gotta keep moving, but we need to know that.
Okay.
Because we're gonna come back. Do we have, let me just jump ahead, do we have any comparable sales transactions?
We have sales, but they're kind of a little bit all over the place.
But did we try to come up with did we triangulate to a composite number?
We have an average sale price, yes.
What is it?
It is $412.
A square foot.
That is correct.
Okay, and what's the cap rate?
Cap rate is anywhere between 5.8 to 6.2.
So, did you just say 6%?
I said 5.8 to 6.
6?
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna give a test on this now.
Okay,
We
6.
gotta make it easy.
Yes, 6.
Say what?
6.
Say what? I was telling Dr. Forgy this one. You guys are too young. My high school kids go, what happened? What happened? What happened? Okay. 6? He said 6%.
Yes.
Hold on. 6%. Can we validate if this is right? So this would be what? $25? What's $25 out of 6 cap? $416 a square foot. Holy moly, look at that. So it seems like we got stuff to value. I mean, do you see how these numbers work, people? I mean, can we start putting stuff together? Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop your flow here.
What am I up to next?
Absorption.
Absorption.
You don't have to follow this order.
Oh, okay. 477,000 is being absorbed yearly.
Is that the trailing 12 months?
Trailing 12 months, there's 1.1 million coming online.
No, I didn't know. The trailing 12 month
Was
absorption.
477,000.
Exactly. Okay. All right. 477. Okay.
But only for 12 months, you have 1.1 coming online.
So we've got 1 million square feet coming? And how much was just delivered?
The 1.1 was just delivered.
And how much is under construction?
It's going to be a total of 2.2 for 20 up till 2020. Deliverable on 2020.
So there's another 1 million over and above these
Correct.
deliveries. So what you're telling me is I'm delivering 4 times the most recent absorption.
Correct.
Big question mark, right?
Well, that's what we wrote down. Impacts on
Okay,
market.
go.
We wrote that the rents will probably go down because you have a total of 2.2 million square feet and no proposed demolitions for 2019 and 2020.
Okay. What are the major submarkets?
Well, we have them rated according to different things. So Aventura would be the market with the greatest rental increase, lease price increase.
Okay, that's great, but where's the product?
In Aventura.
No, where's the 135 million square feet?
Oh, that's the inventory for the whole area. Oh, well, most of it is in Kendall, excuse me. Most of it is in Kendall.
What percentage is in Kendall? Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Dayland.
retail.
Oh, Dayland, okay.
Kendall is actually number one.
Kendall's number one.
Which is 14% of the market, no?
It's the inventory, yeah.
Does that include like revamping retail or creating new retail?
Under construction.
This is existing.
Sorry, under construction is,
Hold on, we have a correction here.
Northeast Day, number one. Northeast Day. Number two is South Day. And number three.
What are the names of the sub-markets?
That's the submarket names.
What?
With the
Inventory, this is what I wanna see.
boundary.
So Kendall is the largest sub-market, it's 20 million square feet. The next largest sub-market is the Miami Airport area, okay?
Oh, that's what we wrote down.
Oh, that's what we wrote down.
But we were talking about nutrition, weren't we?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused.
So I think the answer saying is, we have a very fragmented retail market. Why do we have a fragmented retail market? Because retail is where people live, and people live
All over the place.
everywhere.
Not according to this study. According to this study, most of the money, like 60% of the money that's spent on retail actually comes from visitors that come into this country.
I didn't ask you that.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
I'm asking you, the largest submarket is 19 million, it's barely 12%. The largest submarket, and when I said industrial, I said the two submarkets together were 40%, so it's a lot more concentrated. So retail is sprawled everywhere, and retail is scattered across multiple asset classes, which we were not able to get to. Right?
I'll show her the traffic in Kendall.
Okay. Do we have any major deals, any major leases, any major retailers coming online? Anthony, you're nodding your head.
We want that information.
Oh, good.
Can we be a little bit more enthusiastic about that?
3 hours.
We got this information.
Where did you put that on?
It's
Why are you turning red?
I only slept 3 hours. I can't talk.
Miami Beach had, so there's a property I sold for 1,000.
Not leasing first. Are there any major?
No, we didn't have any, no, we didn't get any leasing information.
We didn't get any leasing.
No, we did not.
Okay, so, but we did have some sales stuff, but I already got some of that, okay? So, okay, what else do you want to tell me?
Miami Beach has the highest price rents and has the.
Okay, well, that's where I was,
vacancy too.
but this is where I was getting to, right? So, can we segment either geographically or by asset class, subclass, how we compose these 38? I mean, this is telling me, what this is telling me, and from the little I know of retail, this is telling me that this is a primarily large retail mall environment and or power center type environment, because you don't see these kind of rents in a grocery anchor or in a strip center. You might see these in power centers, you might see these in malls. I think you're more of a retail.
We don't do power centers or malls, we do retail, we do like public shopping centers, yes.
But you don't see 38 bucks. You might see some inline guys paying that, but Publix doesn't pay 38 bucks.
Around like 9.
Yeah, so, and strip centers don't pay that kind of stuff either. I mean, like, the nail lady can't pay that stuff, you know, or the dry cleaner can't pay that. I mean, I don't know, isn't that where you go to the...
Public Chinese place, and then nail salon.
First of all, they're Vietnamese have the corner on the market, not Chinese.
No, Chinese food. I wasn't saying that. No.
What? I can't say that the Vietnamese have a corner on that market?
No, I wasn't going.
That's a microaggression.
That's what?
Microaggression.
A microaggression.
You have a microaggression.
You bet.
You want me to stop the camera?
Keep going. Yeah, these are new terms, people. Like,
I'm not even saying anything despective. I mean, you know.
You just aggregate.
anyways, keep going. Keep going.
All right, okay. Anything else on retail? Do you have any questions on retail? Okay, do we know, because I'm kind of curious where the 2 million square feet are coming online?
Kendall.
That's Miami World Center, you have,
There's retail coming into downtown Miami?
You have 685,000 square feet, a car dealership.
Car dealership.
Yeah, 685, Warren Henry.
Is that retail?
They call that retail. That's the largest retail.
Where is
center
that,
in
where is there 685,000 square foot auto thing coming?
Second, I'll show you.
Because that might then change this a little bit too, because that's already a build to suit, that's already
Warren
occupied.
Henry is
Along the
23, I don't know, 2300 Northeast 151st Street. I guess that'll be
that's like,
Miami Lakes.
that's.
No, that's
South
north.
Miami, that's
No,
like.
that's North Miami, that's.
Yeah, Warren Henry. Yeah.
It's not quite that high up.
Turnberry is the one that's doing it.
Turnberry Associates, but that's a development firm. That's. Okay, so, listen,
Oh, they're really handy though.
so we don't have the answer, but it looks like there's 700,000 of the 2 million coming on that already have a tenant, so, I mean, it still seems to be a little bit out of whack, but it's not out of whack if in fact there's already sort of, it's already spoken for. Okay, so it's not necessarily gonna,
A lot of it is.
it's not necessarily gonna throw the market off balance, so. Okay, anything else on retail? Okay, why don't we get the next group to come up, please? Thank you very much. Hold on. Ryan is coming up, so I'm going to introduce Ryan Kaufman's coming up with a team with Cynthia, Sean, John, Jack, and Brandon, and they're going to talk to you about Fort Lauderdale retail, industrial.
We got it, boys.
Yeah.
And girls. And girl.
Boys and girl. And yes, Marina pointed out that this group has 6 people and her group only had 4. But sorry, some people didn't show. Okay, Ryan.
What's the market?
Ryan.
There's 133 million.
Guys, listen.
You don't have to. 133 million.
What market are you talking
We're
about?
going to be in the Fort Lauderdale industrial, which is primarily composed of logistics to the tune of 100 of the 133.
How many million square feet?
133.
133 million square feet, okay. Okay.
So we have primarily that composed of logistics companies, which is 100 million of that. And the only deliveries, or 99% of the deliveries coming online, is 2.5 million square feet. And it's almost exclusively in this subcategory of logistics.
Okay. All right, and do we know what the absorption is?
Yeah, it's about 900,000 of the trailing 12 months.
So we're doubling. Again, it looks like 1 million. Sorry, we've got a correction here from a team member. 1 million. Okay, so it looks like, it's kind of interesting, it's looking like in a lot of the asset classes and markets, we've got a lot more product coming on than what's being historically absorbed, which is indicative of late cycles, right? People, by the time they wake up and say, hey, this thing's good, I'm going to start building, and they're going to deliver into a down market. The developers aren't very smart that way. Okay, keep going.
So of this 2.5, we have about 25% being pre-leased, which will affect the amount that impacts our total vacancy. I'll hand this off to Sean, then John, and then Gene, and then Brandon.
Well, let me just, hold on, let me just address what Ryan just said. When I said that Warren Henry picking up 700,000 square feet in a new showroom, that's like a new user in a market. If the 25% that's pre-lease is just coming out of the existing inventory, it's not a new user in the market, it's not helping me, okay? We don't know that, but do you know what, it would tell you if there's a 500,000 square foot new user coming into the market, right? Okay, so anyway, Sean.
So our rents are at $12 a square foot.
That was last, don't tell
Our
me.
rents are at about $12 a square foot now. They came.
Industrial gross?
Yeah, they came all the way from $8 a square foot back in 2013, which was
So rents are going up, that's good.
a.
Do we know what operating expenses are?
We think roughly about $4 a square foot.
You think about 4.
We have 3 to 5.
3 to 4. So it's gonna be not 8 to 9, right? Now, do we have any sales transactions so we can validate that?
Yeah, so we have, we do have sales transactions. We have one at $208 a square foot at a 4.3% cap rate.
Okay, but do we have more than one?
Yeah, and we have another one at 778,000 square feet at a 5.8% cap rate.
No, but I wanna know what the dollars per square foot are.
Or 122, $122 square foot.
Dude, that's like Class C product.
Yeah, that was-
So tell me the first one again?
Lowest one, but the highest was $208 square foot, 208.
And you said it was a 4 what?
4.3.
Cap rate, right? So if we take $8 and cap it at 4.3, it's gonna get you close to there, right? So $8 divided by $186 a square foot, so and maybe it's $9. So op expenses are probably less up here. Let's use $9. $9 at a 4.03 cap actually get us a $209 price per square foot. So it's looking like Class A industrial rents net in Broward are about $9 a square foot, and they kind of validate prices at about $200 a square foot and cap rates of 4. It's kind of circular logic, but it all sort of works together. Okay, keep going.
Vacancies at about 4.5%.
Okay, so it's been a vibrant market. That's kind of been helping rents go up 4%. Okay, yep. Submarkets. Where is this product located?
Broward County.
Submarkets.
What's that? Oh, submarkets in Broward County.
Yes.
Pompano.
Our largest one is Pompano.
Okay, now what percentage is that?
26.
Is 26% of the industrial product?
23.5%.
Okay, 20%. Where else is it?
Southeast Broward and Central Broward.
Southeast Broward and what?
Central Broward. Those are the.
Okay, and where is Southeast Broward so that those of us know? And what percentage is it?
It's 23.1%.
And where is that?
That's East Fort Lauderdale.
Port
I
Everglades.
mean, where?
Is it?
Yeah, it's like.
Guys, pay attention.
Southeast. Southeast Fort Lauderdale.
Is it Hallandale? Is it small bay product in Hallandale, or it's big industrial stuff at the port? So it's really Port Everglades, really. Okay, and then what's the other one you said?
Central Broward.
And what's Central Broward?
15.7%.
No. Where it be?
That would be like the,
Isn't there a map there?
Plantation, Sunrise.
oh yeah, what district is that?
Look at the class. Tell the class. Don't tell me.
Plantation and Davie were in that district.
So it's what's here. Okay, so it's basically 3 markets. Pompano, which there's like a port up there, isn't there? Riviera Beach and all that, isn't? Oh, that's further up. Okay. So what's in there's a whole bunch of Old Bay. There's a whole bunch of Old Bay industrial up there, and there's stuff that comes to the rail. CSX rail line comes all the way to there, and then it goes up to Lake Okeechobee, Port Everglades, and then where we're at. I don't know where around where we're at because I don't know any industrial here. It's probably a little bit further west.
Oh, and then the western is.
That might be east and it might be
Yeah,
west.
the largest
Okay.
one is
And do we have any major leasing deals that we know of? No?
I didn't see any.
Not leasing, but we have some sales.
We already talked about it. Let's not, I care more about it. So there were no large leases in the market?
Not that we saw.
Yeah, so that's kind of a problem in South Florida. We haven't had for a long time a lot of large companies coming in causing big deals in almost any asset class.
Well, there's no way in, so.
Well, or it's very pricey for people to pay this kind of stuff. So if you're going to do bulk industrial distribution, for example, you're going to go to Lakeland. We're going to pay $4 a square foot net. Okay? So, okay?
Good market, great market.
What's your southeast market?
Southeast is basically Port Everglades and then down into Hallandale. Okay, but notice nobody's giving us major deals. Why don't we get James's group first? Couple years. So we got James Carter coming up with Alexander Butcher, Marina, Alex Cohen, and that's it. It's the smallest group. They're going to talk to us about the office market. They're going to talk to us about the office market in Miami, so we can contrast the West Palm Beach office market with the Miami office market. Yeah?
I'm curious about that.
You can up there.
Alright, so we did the office market in Miami.
Yeah, we analyzed the Miami office market, and just a short summary. Strong demand, so 12 months deliveries in square foot, 1.2 million. Strong absorption, so the 12 months net absorption square foot, 213,000.
Okay. But let me stop you there, Marina, for a second.
Yeah.
We've absorbed 213, but we've delivered 1.2 million. That sounds like we've got more supply. We've got more supply than demand here, no? I don't want to put you on the spot here. I'm getting nervous.
I think the overall absorption rate is 579, 560.
So are you looking at trailing 12 months absorption?
12 months, yeah.
266. Yeah, so, but the problem is, guys, the problem is, it's exactly that. I mean, her numbers are right, but it's no different than any other ones. We've got a lot more deliveries coming online than what the historical absorption is. So, yes, we've had rent growth, but I don't know what happens in the future. That, you know, big question mark. Keep going, Marina.
The rents have been rising over the past 5 years. So
Okay.
the 12 months rent growth 3.3%.
Okay, but give me numbers.
The numbers are not here.
So which one do you want the rent? 3.7% rent.
I need dollars.
The rents were about $37.
I want cash money, not percentages.
There's like $37 gross.
Okay, yeah.
Alex, hold on. Alexander says that we're playing. Well, full service, you're saying rents are 37. Do we know how much of that, or what, how much is CBD and how much is suburban office here?
Not gonna just give overall.
Oh, we know by the submarkets, don't we? Don't we know what the CBD is in Miami? Where's the CBD in Miami? Could it be in downtown Miami?
Downtown.
Could
Yeah, one for downtown Miami was.
And Brickell. Downtown Miami and Brickell would be the CBD in Miami. And you actually could argue that Coral Gables is also CBD.
What I gave you.
But I gave
So you would say all that's Miami?
No, I would say that's CBD product as opposed to everything else being suburban product. And you're going to have a total. So if you look at the rents by submarket, what are the asking rents in downtown Miami, for example? By the way, let me just stop while he's looking. Do all you all see value in knowing this stuff?
Yes.
As real estate professionals in the market in which you live and work, we should know these things. Okay, so that when we're talking to people, we've got a frame of reference and we understand, yes, Brian?
If we don't have the money for CoStar, is there somewhere we can get this information for free?
I got it for free.
CoStar?
A free is a CoStar.
You saw that the front page that has the guy's name who gave it to me isn't there. So where you can get this information, if you can't get it from CoStar, is unfortunately the functionality has been curtailed a bit. CBRE used to have great market reports. They're not putting very little information out publicly. JLL has good stuff for office and hospitality. Marcus and Millichap has top level stuff across the board. Integra has stuff across the board. Abbottson Young has stuff across the board. Cushman has some industrial and office stuff. Colliers might have some stuff. I haven't checked.
They put out a market report.
Well, for hospitality, so for hospitality, go to Miami-Dade Visitor and Convention Bureau, for example. Go to the Broward Alliance here. So they're going to give you RevPAR and the metrics. So we didn't do a hospitality one today, but there's different metrics that we use in hospitality. But so Brian, call a friend. Yeah, no, I mean, call a friend.
Google it. Just Google quarterly report.
Yeah, so, but the problem is, but there's no, listen, I've signed up to all these, I mean, I've got like 4, because every few months, like, they reset, I've got like 4 different passwords in CBRE stuff, So you can sign up for these market reports and you can just download them. Okay? So that's a very good question. And you can ask the program what access. Hey, a professor brought us some stuff from the University of Miami. How come I got to the University of Miami? A student at the University of Miami had access to CoStar and we don't. Can you shut that off? No. No, you can ask. I think I said the other day, we used to have access to CoStar. And 3 students blew it.
Something similar.
Sorry?
In my group, it may be what you're referring to. It wasn't explained well, like how we use the system, so everyone went home that night and downloaded the REE reports.
Yes, we had a little, we had like $10,000 worth of reports, and like 3 people just blew
wiped
it
out
up.
the budget in one night.
In one night, and we never got it again.
Well, no one told us you can't download it.
Well, the problem is it's all a subscription service, and so anyway, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. Do we know what the operating expenses are? We didn't see operating expenses. Do we know what operating expenses should be?
Yeah, they're around $12, $13 a square foot.
Hold on, I got Alexander. So, guys, Coral Gables, $41. Downtown Miami, $40. Brickell, $48. So it sounds like the CBD rents are north of 40, which means that the suburban rents are low 30s. Office, operating expenses in office are probably going to be about $15 to $20 for the CBD, and probably 11 to 13 for suburban. Okay, so what that's going to give us are net rents that are going to be somewhere around 25 to 30 here, right? And somewhere between 18 and 22 here. Do we know what the vacancy is?
6.5 in 2018.
No. Will the real vacancy please stand up?
It was 8.8. Yeah, that's what it was.
No, but you're looking at I got to look overall.
It's 8.8.
So 8%, 9%, 9%. That's pretty good actually. That's not bad because it. What did we say last week nationally? That's a 9. What did we say last week nationally? It was like 15 nationally, and we said typically in CBDs it's much less than that, and a little bit more in suburban. Okay, do we know the size of the market? No, it's not that huge. James said that the size of the market was 107 million.
You already said
107 million square feet. And I think the CBD here I know downtown is probably a little bit under 30. I don't know how big Coral Gables is now.
I have the percentage for like Class A, B, C. But no.
Yeah, but I can't, how much is Class A and how much is,
Class A is 35%.
Class A is 35%.
C, 22%.
Okay, and we said CBD was Brickell, downtown, Coral Gables. Do we know how big they are?
Yeah, that was 30%.
30% is CBD product, and so 70% is suburban product. Do we have any large deals in the market this term?
The airport was also big with 18%.
That's right, Doral is at 18. Which, well, that's suburban, you know, so I'm just gonna put it there for.
Yeah, it was like 50%.
Guys, we gotta get through this, quick. Do we have any major deals?
Yeah, there's Brickell City Center.
That's, I'm not talking about sales, I'm about leasing transactions.
The biggest was Vivex Biomedical for 9,200 square feet.
98,000?
98,000.
That's actually a big deal in Dade County. Now, what's it called? What biomedical?
The Vivex Biomedical.
Okay. And do we know what they paid or where they went?
Just had that.
That's all we know? Okay, well, that's good, but there was one big, do we have any sales comps?
Yeah, 169 square foot average.
That sounds like, we've only sold suburban product, okay? Do we know the cap rates on that?
Yeah, 6.8 average cap
Six,
rate.
that sounds like suburban product, so let's kind of validate it. If we're saying the rents are 18, let's use $20 at 6 point what?
6.8 with a 15% vacancy at sale.
No, this doesn't, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that was low.
That doesn't work. What are the deals?
It was 169, but it's low. The Brickell City Tower was 404 square foot.
Okay, but does it have a detail of the transactions that comprise that here? Okay, hold on.
That was the biggest deal in the CBD.
And how do they triangulate to one? See, guys, when I look at this stuff, I don't know how they got their average, but when you look at this stuff, you're seeing sales in CBD areas in the 400s per square foot, and you're seeing suburban at Beacon Center at 233, Building 4 out by the airport at 199, 235, 256, 288. So $20 at 6% puts you in the 240 a square foot range. That sounds more like it, okay? Now, thank you. We got to move on to multifamily because we got to do a little quiz afterwards, and then we can go home. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Sean. Guys, come up while Sean's asking.
I apologize. We do have a lease.
Okay, hold on, guys, listen.
The Postal Center International signed a 224,000 square foot lease in May of 2018.
For how much? Does it say?
Doesn't say how much.
Okay, so Sean's bringing up. Listen, this goes back to what we were talking about. Likely. So the Postal Service, 200 and some odd thousand square feet. We're talking about Fort Lauderdale Industrial. My guess would be because we haven't had that kind of population growth here, and the post office isn't necessarily growing as a business. My guess is that's either consolidation of space or an expiration somewhere and a moving somewhere else. It's not like new into the market. This deal sounds like a new one in the market, which is good. Okay, because if all you're doing is moving from building A to B, new product is just going to sit there empty. Or the new product is going to get full, but the product is being vacated is going to be affected, okay? Okay, different asset class, different kind of metrics. Jeff's group with Christina, Brian, Juanita, and Armando are going to talk to us about multifamily. Quickly. Yep, go.
Okay, so our rent we got is 1.83 per square feet.
So broadly across the market, that's $1.83 per square foot per month. Okay, per month. Here, these are all yearly rates. In multifamily, that's per square foot per month. So, what's the average size of a unit? Didn't we figure that out?
49 and 962, so average.
900.
900.
So the average rent in Dade County is about $1,700 a square month, $1,700 a month. Okay, all right, keep going.
Operating expense, we got between $5 and $9.
Okay, so,
depending on where it's located.
okay, but now $5 and $9, those are annual numbers now. And we typically talk about percentages, but so we can convert back to that, right? Because if we take 183 and multiply it by 12, right? If we go 1.83 and multiply it by 12, that gives us $22 a year. And we say that operating expenses are what, 5?
5 to 9.
Yeah, 5 to 9.
So let's say 7, right? 32%. Okay, and we kind of said, we said that in one of the sessions, that operating expenses in multifamily were 30 to 35%. Okay, keep going. Different way to look at it, but typically we would talk this way in this asset class. Keep going.
Vacancy is 5.3%.
Okay, 5.3%.
We found 886,000 households in our area.
Okay, but that doesn't solve my problem. How many multifamily units for rent?
We didn't see that data.
You got it by submarkets. You can add it. True. What were you doing all this time? You were doing that. Okay, so what was the number?
No, but the number.
You couldn't tell me that.
I can't.
You couldn't add the specific numbers.
You can do the number now, once you finish off. It's right there.
Yeah, do something. Okay, let's talk about some other. Do we know absorption and deliveries? This is important here.
Absorption, we got you did it differently. I got 2,477 units.
2,400 units, and do we know how many are coming online?
There's 5,000 coming online.
Now, are these quarterly numbers or are these annual numbers?
Annual.
You're sure these are annual numbers?
Year to date. 5,000 year to date.
4,500 a year today, and then 5,000 coming in.
So 10,000 for the year, because we're in the middle of the year. This is like a May report. So like 10,000 coming online. That sounds more like it to me. And it's 2,400 trailing 12 months or year to date? Do we know the trailing 12 months?
The quiz is going to be, were you here? True or false?
Okay. I would just guess it looks like in this asset class as well, we're delivering more. I mean, I looked at the map you had there. That chart looked like there was a lot of product coming on versus what was. So, but we gotta compare apples to apples. Year, trailing 12 months to year absorption. Do we have submarkets that are major, or is this stuff scattered all over too?
We got major submarkets.
Yeah.
We do.
Downtown Miami, Hialeah, and Doral.
Downtown is what percentage?
12.6%.
Okay, and Hialeah?
Hialeah is 12.2.
Okay.
Doral's 11.2.
So, but what I would say is that kind of follows retail, where the major submarkets were only like 10 or 11%. So scattered, there are some larger ones, but scattered, and retail kind of follows residential in geography. Because people shop where they live, for the most part. This isn't going to apply here. Do we have any sales? Do we have any sales? The rest of you can start clearing your desk for the quiz, please.
We're already ready for it.
Let's go.
We're ready.
Hold on.
You're behind today.
Hold on, guys. Yep.
Yeah.
I
like this one today.
No, that's rental rates. I'm looking for sales, but you have up here. So we're seeing 158,000 per door. Guys, listen, we have different metrics here, so you hear them.
Overall, it's 171 for
180 for one door?
No, not for one door, per door.
That's an expensive door.
So we got 180,000 a door. That seems like that's a lot of sales in mid-rise urban product. Guys, do we know what the cap rate is for that?
5.5.
I'm hearing 5.5. That seems high to me, but we can try to replicate that a little bit. Do we know what it is per square foot? We don't. Okay, so let's just do an assumption, and let's just say that every unit is 900 square feet. We said that, right? We said that, right? We said it was $900 a square foot, right? And so, do we know what net rents are? What did we say? It was 22 bucks, less 7. We're going to say that rents are 15 bucks a square foot, right? So we're going to cap this. I'm going to cap it lower at 5, okay? That's going to give me $300 a square foot. Okay? A square foot. All right? And if I have $900 a square foot, that's going to put me at $277,000 a door. So,
A door. No, not per door.
yeah, per door.
A door.
So that doesn't seem to jive. Okay? Now, you know, maybe at 5.5 it does, but maybe we just don't have good comps here. We don't have enough time to do any more. But you see the relationships that you can draw, right? 183 a month times 12 months, less $7, give me net rents of 15 at a cap rate of 5. Give me $300 square feet. There's 900 square feet per unit. And since we talk about doors, that gives me $277 a door. Okay? So, anyway, it doesn't seem to validate what you gave me, but thank you. Okay? Clear your desk. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody. We're going to have our last quiz.